Hey everybody, I wanted to just talk about a little new technique for scratching that I came across using a traditional turntable and mixer like you see here, and also the MicroKorg using the audio in function. So I'll just show you how those two things are connected together. I thought that I'd use the headphone jack just so I could keep a beat playing using Serato or whatever else, because as you can see I no longer use two turntables, I just use the one. And so you could keep a beat playing here and then have an independent control, coming out of the headphone jack here, and also it'll make this little fader here, which I've never used to scratch, available for controlling the volume, which is kind of fun. So it's just a 1/4 inch cord coming out of the headphone jack and then going into the audio in jack, of course, of the MicroKorg, and make sure that it's not going into the vocoder input. So you'll have to adjust the little volume knob there on the back, but then I'll show you how to set up the MicroKorg here. So all we're going to do is just initialize the patch, which as you might know already is Shift 3 and then 3 again, and then so you just get your normal beep patch like that, but then go over to oscillator 1 and change it all the way over to audio, which will make it so you can't hear anything once it gets played. But we're going to be using the Arpeggiator to cut up the scratch tones, or whatever it is that we're scratching. So let's go over to that Arpeggiator, and I like to scratch at a BPM of 130. That's usually how what BPM I make my tracks at. So let's put it over there. Sometimes the MicroKorg is a little stubborn about getting to the right BPM. You might know what that's like, so we'll turn on the Arpeggiator. I like to turn the latch on, which is the Arpegg B function, and then just turn that to on, and then turn the key sync on, which will be important for syncing it to tempo in case things get off tempo. So as you can see, we've got our Arpeggiator running now. So with that in mind, I'm not going to use too many effects right now, but it should. I've just got the normal awe tone from a Qbert record that I've had for years, pretty much ever since I've started DJing. So if you look over here, I'm moving the record back and forth, and the Arpeggiator is cutting it up. And so you can change the length of the notes, of course, on the Arpeggiator by adjusting the gate section, which right now it defaults to 80, but you can make it shorter or longer, as you can see. And so this has a lot of neat applications because it's automatically cut up to tempo. Now, depending on what type of music you're playing, you might want to add some swing, which it seems like less is more on this on the MicroKorg. So I usually go between 14 and 20 on the swing, and then of course you can adjust the patterns. But so just as it goes, we might get a little simple beat going here on the MPC. And as you can see, I'm not using any crossfader at all. Here's my other hand. Like that, so let's rock. I add in a little chaos pad. You might try a tone record, which I've got this DJ Swamp Tons of Tones records, which I've always loved. Or even you could do just like a Serato control record, which does get annoying after a while, but you know, it's worth a try. So we can find a good tone here. Yeah, that's a good one. Then you can adjust the speed. It's always on tempo. And finally, you can just choose any random record. I've got this old children's record, which isn't really good for much. And sometimes it doesn't work so well, but sometimes you can come up with some cool stuff. So if you can find a decent record that this works well with, it'd be a major score. So. And so forth.